Good morning, my people. It's the Question Friday. I hope you had a very good Thursday, and I hope you had a good night. Yeah, today is Friday. I want you to sing for my people. To sing, and you remember? Yeah. Give your hit from mommy. Yes. People, Derek Lule, Kungu Pius, between ISC and VITS 1.3 old models, which one is better in terms of performance, value for money? They have the same performance because they are both 1.3 liters. They have the same body, they have the same spare parts and everything. In terms of value, the IST will give you more value because you're going to also buy it more expensively. Yeah, but also the IST doesn't, people don't believe it's the VITS. I know that it's the VITS, but people don't believe it's the VITS. So they'll probably look at you like you're driving a much more expensive car. So I don't know what value you're looking for. They both give you the same boot, they give you the same seating capacity, apart from the fact that the IST might be taking bigger tires. So it means it will be much more expensive for you to keep on the road. Then also in terms of accidents and all. The lights might be much more expensive and all that. Yeah, but literally those cars are the same. Yeah, but how are you, my people? Joseph Malikudembe, Ronald Muchwa, how is Dubai? Mugalasi Joshua Mix Farm, how are you? Muyombia Mark, Norman Karohanga, Paul Banaria, Tusime Eddie, Serunjoji William, Hamim Pepera, Sebugwa Umedi, Bridget Kakai, Paul Sema, Bukenya Shafik, Travel Live Vlog, Mathad Academy Nawamukono, Brian Wanyama, E1. Yes, Arthur, how much fuel do you think is enough to and from Bali in a Toyota drone? I have no idea. I don't want to lie to you. Taremwa Samuel, Alan Molindwa, remember to update the pre-purchase. Yes. I have to do that today. Thank you very much, Alan. Juko Nicholas, Antonio, Random Things, Prosi Bravo. Good morning, Arthur. What causes of blow by, and what do you mean blow by? Juko Nicholas, kindly clarify your question. Abdul Rahim Kasita, Agaba Francis M, King Daniels, good morning, our brother, and everyone, good morning. Sentongo Hamoza, of recent I bought 2 cars for Uber, but ended up selling them. Only total loss. Thank you. Hamza, could you kindly share your experience in length? Share, why did you sell the cars and what happened with them? Because by the time someone buys 2 cars, they are really hopeful of the business. They really know that it's going to work out. So what happened, Hamza? Kindly share your experience so that other people learn. Nze mbadde wano mbagamba ate nze nyina ye moroke but nze mbala nnyo Matthew wange mukola nnyo tennawezaamu yadde emyezi egiri awo. So share your experience oba moroka yatomera butomezi oba moroka wagula nfu oba na share your experience so that abantu abalala bakuyigirako ne bakola decision entuufu. Chambade Huntington, good morning. Good morning Norman, how are you brother? Sentongo Hamuza, Bambi tuyambe, share your experience with the Uber. Why did you have to sell your 2 cars? Share your experience. It will be very helpful na Uganda banange bagwagwa. Ifo chokuleka line eri etambule ne ono wa Probox ne yinzo sirwala na atwala yakatu. Era byagenda okuvuga. Ina magezi abantu abasinga. Ebitala byatukutte naye ifo chokuleka bali batambule. Bongo butono butusumbwa. Mukira bikyakya atukutedda. Kati wano waliwo omusajja wa Probox ajja kwagala agoberere kigege eyo. Ekifo ky'okuleka eri layini etambule kuba eri layini erina gyeraga. Omulaba. Olaba obwongo obutono. Olaba obwongo obutono. Olaba obwongo obutono awulira afiirawo. Olaba obwongo omulaba agenda nakutomera abantu. Ne bannayuganda abamu baba bakulirawa. Omulabi obwongo obutono. But anyway guys, how are you? Football Tribe, good morning. Babuye Nelson, good morning. Hashim, good morning. Hamuza Bambi, share your experience. Bannayuganda abamu obwongo bunsobera engeri gye bukolamu. Kati moroka waliwo emoroka za mirundi 3 mulengerawo waliwo Prado ejja side zeeno, waliwo erirole edda side zeeri, waliwo Nadia edda side zeeri eri gyenzira, kati waliwo lole esalamu edda eri side ya Kyebando. Ogiraba kati bano abadda side gyenzira tebasobola kuddayo because tebasobola kuddayo because waliwo kirole wali. Kati nekirole tekina bwe kigenda gye kiraga because eri emabega wa TX waliyo bakamoroka kikali. Okitegeera waliwo akamoroka akali eri wamma muze emabega n'oyo warafu avugisiza kisibusiru. I find that some Ugandans obubungu bwabwe bukola butya. Kati ojjaamu oyo mumulaba ali awo ffenna atukutte lwa nsonga emu bw'Abannayuganda butaba patient. Okitegeera kati mu busiru bwabwe ate bajja simanyi na kumanya n'oyo akomewo okoze bulungi afande kuba n'oyo wakiroola oyo. But I don't know how Ugandans think. Kati bali abeeri nabo baba stoppinze naye nabo era banyigiriza bayitewo. Yeah, I think twetaagayo ebipapula ebiri serious nga bw'oyita ku kitala bakuba ekipapula kya miliyoni ng'emu. Bannayuganda bajja kutandika okuddamu ku magezi. Then twetaagayo n'ebipapula ebya common sense. Because if you see that where you're going it's not moving, kati olaba fenna tuli wano tuli stuck because some idiots babadde tebalowooza nti bwe tuleka bali ne bagenda naffe tujja mmala tugende. Okitegeera wa traffic ababutajja singa tuli awo tuli stuck n'okwetomeranga kwotadde. Good morning Moses Heath. So it's a question Friday guys. Ababuuza ebibuuzo bannange Sentongo Hamuza nkyanoonya bambi experience yo. Emmotoka bbiri it was a good investment. Why did you decide to sell them? Share your experience, Hamuza. This is the only time we have for you to share. So for the guys that are expecting to invest in Uber, Hamuza was sharing experience here. Netujigatako kuyange oba osobola okukola decision entuufu. And Hamuza, how did you come to the decision of finally buying 2 Uber cars? Yes, share your experience Hamuza bambi. Tojikweka bannaffe abalala basobola okugiyigira. Good morning Clip Films 82. What's up? How is your Friday going? So it's a question Friday. We ask questions byonna bye tubuuza ne beddibwamu byesisobola kuddamu wano waliwo bakapere bakafulu waliwo bakafulu ate abansinga okubimanya. Yes, so kakati nze byesisobole kuddamu ate omulala ajja kubiddamu. Good morning Matembe Abdur Nassar. Mpozi Hajara yali ku mulamu yekka wano. Good morning Vinny Katz, how are you? Burn them down. Kevin, good morning Arthur. Would you say cars gain value when you do some work to old cars for popular brands? A car like that one, or your Land Cruiser, a Land Cruiser like that one would add value. However, a Primo like the one behind the last Land Cruiser will not add value. It doesn't matter how much. Okujakonga, you have made it very special, which is very rare for you to be able to make a car very special. So one thing you need to, it would be like, for example, you buy a vintage car and it's a vintage and other people start buying it simply because it's a vintage. But in Uganda, how many people do you know can afford to buy a vintage at the price of a vintage? Very few people. So I personally, but when I gotta call it to make a car special, you should make the car special for you. Don't try to do major repairs on a car to make it special for someone to give you money. that almost never works because most Ugandans don't really have money. So even the people that have money are too calculative. They don't buy unnecessary things. You get? Hamza tanso tu a story bambi. Yes, Hamza, you were patient. You did the business for 1 year. Mulengere waka ka probox yori abada aduma uli wali. Mane people top up ngango ovuga mujamwe. Ojafune ebizibu because if you're late, by the way. It's one thing that I've learned. Orumo sorogezako no wadako. Hamza, share the full. I know you may not be a friend to typing, but bambi typing gabuli chimoto bude story yonanga bo yali watani koto gule moroka. It would have been nice for me to even host you on the podcast because experience zamwe zisomesa abalala. Abantu bangi batuyigira kwe febye tukoze ne tuyigamu abalala ate bakolaki bawulira stories zaffe ne bayiga bambi tuyambe buyambe typing buli kimu. What exactly led to the losses that forced you to sell your cars? What exactly happened in the process? Arthur, do you think Mark X can beat the cross sport? Okay. I've seen that the argument. I personally think that the question of which car beats the other, especially if they are the same capacity of engine, will depend on who is driving the car. It doesn't necessarily depend on what car it is, because I can tell you that the Subarus would not beat a Mark X if the Mark X had the right driver. That thing I can tell you. I have a friend of mine that has Subarus and Mark X's. I've actually thought of doing the experiment myself. To come after zombie to take at a place where it would be neutral for us to actually experiment it. But it would mean I need to get drivers of the same caliber, put them in the two cars. Two drivers that are unbiased, only aiming at giving us the good experience. However, we don't have racetracks in Uganda, so and it would be an illegal thing. So I'm thinking about it, but I think given the right drivers, both those cars drivers of the same caliber, the Mark X would beat the Subaru Cross Sport. Now, one thing you guys need to understand is that Subaru guys are too passionate about their cars. They are also determined. Tebatia Rose. Mark X drivers love their cars too much to risk spoiling their cars. Which again, that's the difference. That would be the only reason why the Cross Sport would beat with the Mark X. The Cross Sport guy is determined to win. He doesn't care what he goes through to win. The Mark X guy just wants to keep his car intact. So, which take the baba. So that personally, I think that the Mark X would beat the Cross Sport any day. It would. Give me a Mark X, give another dude a Cross Sport, and don't limit me to Otomeze Moroka yange bichi obajiwe comprehensive agama nti olumba jivuga sports nzompo wa Cross Sport mbarageko bulazi. This mine. Yeah, I know for a fact that the Mark X would beat a Cross Sport. It would. So today's question Friday, Hamza is sharing his experience with Uber. You guys can read the comment what the senator kanze kujisoma. Read the comment. We should learn from his experience. Both cars were Raum new model, VVTi engine. Always the drivers kept giving excuses and damaging the cars. That the money they make weekly ends up in maintenance. Donald M. Cassandra, good morning, my brother. How are you? But I moved that story ya Sentongo. Your story, I think it's really similar to what I said. Atenza driver wange, tawana excuses, by the way. My car doesn't really die that much. But ogendo kwesanga katinze. I find that literally every month, uja kwesanga 50% of the money will go back to the car. That's not business. Or whatever business, because a car is a very depreciating asset. It depreciates a lot. Kati, you can't do a business with a depreciating asset. Now 50% of the money you make every month goes back to maintaining the car. Now with Hamza, I'm thinking it was probably a little bit higher than 50%, or even more than 60% that you always put back in maintaining that car on the road, which is a lot. Which take it, and if you have a driver that you have no control over, can the driver wange muntu wange, so it's very easy for me to monitor and all. But chenalingambo mucharoni yali agule moroka ya Uber. I don't know if she finally went to buy the car, but I'm curious to find out what her experience is a few months after she has started the business properly. Because if she did go on to buy a car, I'm sure oyo mwana yamugambo kuvuga emoroka ye yenyine yamufundde emoroka eventually. And I did tell her my concerns. Because I used to drive Uber myself. Hey, sit down. I used to drive Uber nze mwenyine ngavuga moroka yange ekyakola obulungi. The mechanic we were working with that day naye yali avuzeeko ku Uber ng'emoroka era yiye. Naye naawaayo ku moroka mu Uber nayo neevaayo ng'ate weewuunye ye makanika nga ne bigaana. Kati nze, because the car was already there, I thought, okay, chitempa kasente. You remember how I was excited when it started giving me money? And then I started realizing that, you know what? Like you keep making 300,000 every month instead of the 600 that you predicted. Which take it, ekinene nnyo ky'okola olumu kibeera emitwalo ana. Which take it, it's not really fair. Then I realized that abantu ebisere tuvuga ebintu byanjawulo. I gave the dude we yongerako maaso nyingire ebbala. Okay. Okay, right. So question Friday though, I'm making this day about me and Hamza, yet it should be about you guys. By the way, Subarus are not fast as owners praise them, as you say. They are just passionate. Exactly, James. The Subaru drivers love their cars, they are passionate, and they are determined to win. On the other hand, the Mark X people love their cars too much. I've not found a Mark X owner that doesn't love their car so much. So it would be very hard for you to find a Mark X owner putting their car in Hamzo simply to win a Subaru. Which is kati eyo debate eyo nze njimanyi. If anybody has a Mark X here, would you put it on a battlefield for you just to win what? For people to praise the car that it's fast. But what are you risking? The Mark X would beat the Subaru XT any day. Never ever Mark 2 musota ekuba Subaru XT nzembabulira. If you guys can donate mungulire chimaka 2 musota cha million nga musanvu nzembakubire bwe kivaayo nga tuchukuza member wano nga mufunayo ka 60% refund. Mwe chemba manchi lichimuze nompa Mark 2 musota nomfino mvuka wa XT mukulagirako bwerere mukuba nemulekanga yeewuunya yiseewa. You guys joke with the Toyota Max. Those are cars. They are cars. The Mark 2 Grand, Mark X. Nebebera Chesa, because they literally have the same engine. Even the Camrys that have the same engine. Those machines, they have a speed by. Yeah. I thought, why don't you do as a video of you using sport mode? No, my car doesn't have paddle shifters though, but sport mode is fast. I'm telling you, sport mode is fast to the extent that I'm scared it can even spoil the engine. Like when you put sport mode, it revs the engine up to like 3,000 revs per minute, yeah, and then we stop on it, it goes up to 5,000 revs per minute, and then it's super fast. I'm telling you. So the sport mode is It's something else. I've used it when I wanted to overtake and I wanted to go a little faster. Aban, you're putting on a kanzu today? Are you?
What?
You're not putting on a kanzu today?
Yeah, I'm putting.
When you people were telling me my sons don't know Luganda, muchimanyi nti Aban sings ekitibwa kya Buganda, all of it. Nirabira nokwirabira badde no bayimbira mu olwaliro. Aban sings ekitibwa kya Buganda, all of it. Nze nange sikimanyi. But Aban can sing it. Okay, he doesn't sing it very fluently, but at least he has the idea. Ebigambo byonna abimanyi. I'm sure tamanyi nnyo ebitegeeza naye nga abiyimba, all the verses ne chorus agikuba. Aban musajja muganda n'okusinga nze. Sebakuba ekitiibwa kya Buganda naro. So anyway, question Friday, guys. Question Friday. What question is on your mind? Yemoroke eri mu profile the DP for today's broadcast. Mwana wa tinta jatiriza tinti ono. Listen you. That's the budget Ranex we bought. And we bought 22 million shillings. It's a UBE. Trust me, it's in perfect condition. International schools teach local languages to abana kati bamanyi n'ebisoko. Bamanyi ebisoko. How do you call a kanzu in English? Yeah, I don't know. Myame Muganda. Kati nza Antonio Pombuze kanzu mu Luzungu ate nze ni musajja Muganda. Nze ni musajja Muganda simanyi kanzu mu Luzungu njimanyi mu Luganda. Should I get a 2.4 liter Kluger for my first car? Because I travel up country from time to time. How is it? A 2.4 liter car will take you probably 7 to 8 kilometers per liter. Sometimes worse, sometimes better. So we just be language man. A 2.4 liter car will consume a little fuel. But of course, on the highway, all cars don't consume a lot. And also it depends on how much money you have as a person. Me, if I were living in town, I would manage a Kaundo properly. But now, you can imagine what time is it? It's 7:45. Do you know I left my home at around 6:10, and we found jam in Kawanda. We found jam. Something had happened, so we were there in Kajamwako for like 10 to 15 minutes, and then tusanze kajamu kebwayisi nako katukutte kati mujamu mwe moroka muzisinga okunywera amafuta okitegeera ku highway tezinywa. But me, because I have a lot of jam and I also have a long distance, I have a lot of like long distances, which long distances don't even give me a steady speed, so I would not risk getting like a 2.4 liter or a 3 liter car. So I will gladly be driving these small cars. I'm actually considering the Vitz again. We miss it as a family. We miss the Vitz. It's a compact car. It's just that this car has boot. Like the last 2 days I had performances, and the boot for this car I would put stuff in here and all. So that's the only advantage the Ractis has. Of course, my son Aban Katiawanvuye also Wature Mabega. He sits much more comfortably than what he used to have in the Vitz. But some are kubera comfortable. Namuzara to work with the resources that daddy has. A kanzu in Uganda we call it Mutega and Sowera. Kati chogamba Joshua mbune a kanzu shiri mu Luzungu. Joshua tulekemu nawe. Brian kanzu tunic. Tunic luba lugoye Brian. Na Brian leka nawe. Marvin mbade sina kumare. Marvin a 1.8 liter engine and a 2.4 liter engine. Depends on what car. If it's a VVTi, the 1.8 liter engine will probably give you 12 kilometers, and then the 2.4 will probably give you 7-8 kilometers. But I'm talking about the average. That's what I'm saying. But it's possible that muchisawa kokulaga average 8, in actual sense it gives you 5. That's a very possible thing. So amazima gali nti omuntu yenna ayina agula emmoloka esukka 2 liters mu VVTi beera nga okimanyi nti amafuta ejja kunywamuko okitegeera. But as long as you get income nga sente ziyingira, I don't think you'd have a problem. Aban must know all your jams since you play them daily. Hey, Aban Azimani. Hey, Clark Raim, good morning. We, all schools, actually it's not just international school, all schools now teach local languages, all of them, and they teach all local languages, because if the child is a Munyankore, they'll teach the Munyankore. If a child is a Lugbara, they'll teach Lugbara. You get, they do that. I drive a 2.4 liter Kluger, but man, you just performance, otherwise fuel. Marayo statement. James Bakunzi, you finish the statement. Eh? Hajara, good morning. Mr. Sengendo Abdul, good morning. Yeah, yes, Marvin. James, tell us more about your 2.4 liter. How many kilometers does the liter go for in that car of yours? So that Marvin who wants to buy it understands what he's going into. I think the other thing, the other reason why, for me, it's not really about the fuel, because it's a nyizo jipambana. It's on zipambane, it's on highway. But the other thing I think about those big cars, is like it's too much responsibility for me. I don't want a lot of responsibility, that if I can avoid it. Like now I have kids, I can no longer avoid that responsibility. I have a home that I need to maintain. I cannot run away from that responsibility, but I can run away from the responsibility of driving a big car. Now, when you drive a big car, everybody expects you to be responsible. When you drive a big car, everyone expects you to drive responsibly. Everybody expects you to be calm. Everybody expects you to keep distance. They expect you. There's too much responsibility that comes with driving a big car. So I would rather stay with a small car. I already have a lot of responsibilities elsewhere. You remember the day we bought the first Vitz? I was driving Outlander. Yo mami yagano tumala yaka sente cafe. Yagano okusasula. Nyenga yemoroka yagitwala ekola bulungi. Otherwise yali badde yankubira desimu. One thing I've realized, that when I help people do stuff, they only call me when things don't go right. When things go right, I don't hear from them again. I was driving the Mitsubishi Outlander, and I thought it was too much responsibility for me. I was too high, too big. The borders were going down Gazita 1C, and there were so many other small cars. And then it wasn't as comfortable as I imagined, because normally when you when you buy a big car, you'd expect that it's going to give you much more comfort, right? You'd expect that when you sit in that car, you feel a little different. I drove the Outlander, at least the Outlander I drove. I think I've driven a Kaundo as well. I've driven a Kluger. I don't feel any, okay, apart from being high, I don't feel any different. And you know, the height comes with a lot of responsibility. Personally, I think driving a car as big as that would mean I have to reduce the speed I drive on the road, especially when I'm driving on the Maram roads. It means I'll have to reduce my speed, something I don't want to do. Sometimes I'm late, so in a Morocco is awansi. It's very hard for you to trip in a Morocco awansi egwe, but it's very easy for you to trip a Kawondo. It's very easy for you to trip a Kluger. It's very easy for you to trip an Outlander. It's very okujaka Morocco enzibu katinga. I'm looking at the Touareg. The German cars are very hard to trip. Why? Because the Morocco is zina center of gravity yazo 81C, because they don't have high suspensions. So it's very hard for you to trip a Touareg. It's very hard. Kias, even these SUV Kias are very hard to trip. But most of the Toyota SUVs are very easy to trip. And if I were to drive an SUV, I think I'd totally be driving a Toyota, because they're easier to manage. Vitz was good, but try out the Sienta and get the experience. I had one in November to January, but it's good. Sienta, I'm still really thinking about it. I don't know. 2.4 liter Kluger, just have to love performance, because in town it uses 6 to 7 kilometers per liter. But one thing, it's the durable, as in Tefa. James, by the way, all these cars Tezifa, if you pick right, nazo tezimalaga katinze. Enemoroka sigenda myezi ebiri nga ngivuga from the time I got it. What have I okujjako ebintu byenkola nze nganze nti njagala. Like I cleaned the throttle last Sunday. So now I'm going to put it off totally. Okujjako nakola the leakage that was on the radiator thing, nengula ka joint akalala. What else? I've bought an air cleaner. Today I'm going to buy another air cleaner. I'm going to buy a pair of air cleaners in Berenazo. My service must be almost done. What else? I've not really done any repairs on this car as well. The Vits is on a zone nakolanga byange okujjako okuwanika, like when I buy a kanze njikola ebyange byenjagala. And those are the things that normally I do on my cars. Sina nyo chamanyi kyenkola motoka kyenyiza gamba nti all cars basically, if you drive properly, that's one thing I can tell you. Bogule motoka nga nungi nogivuga bulungi. Like me, I drive about 15 kilometers of Maram. Katate sometimes in Vuga Semutor Road, which is very terrible. And sometimes when I pick my kids up late, nsobola vuga nge kasanga ati urumune vuga nga Chitezi, those roads are bad, but I've not really fixed anything. Of course, I know that the bushes in the suspension plates are not very well. No. I saw them, but I've just stubbornly decided to first leave them there. I think I'll do work on them, I don't know, but next week. Of course, they are not bad, but I saw Nazira and Azdan so kusala. Normally, I would be changing them. Morokazo Nazira Zengula from the first vid to the second to the third. Naringa Panikabu Wanisi. I'll just do lifting. Good morning, Anselm Isaac. Baba Chisembo Jojo, good morning. Sentong Hamzaga, please, Arthur, you promise us to give feedback on the tax business, the one you bought. Hamza, the taxi is paying money. Tenafa, Tainachi centers take. Of course, the taxi is not mine, but the owner hasn't reported any discrepancies. The owner gets his money reliably. The taxi is giving him 90,000 shillings every day. Saturday is the day the manager gets the money. I namukwasa manager. I'm the one that makes sure that he gets him good drivers. My mechanic fixes the car. Of course, he hasn't fixed anything because as a matter of fact, you see, we bought that Chigege at 25 million. Someone wanted to buy it 28 in the garage. And I told my mechanic, Kurachi, why don't you tell the owner of the car? And he said, now we sell it at 28, then we buy what? Because we had moved already. There was nothing for us to buy. You get, so you'd have 28 million shillings with no car to buy, which take year. So we just let it go. Kastakati ekola tugenda mu wiki yakubiri, I think. I'm going to give him a call, but that he has already told me he receives his money diligently, no defaulting, no reduction, so he gets his money properly. Yes, Anselm. Elijah. Morning, everyone. I have just landed in the live. How is it, the reliability of a Honda car? Hondas are reliable, Brandon. It's just that the only issue you're going to have with cars like Hondas is that we don't have mechanics that are specialized for the Honda. At least, but Hondas, I've not even seen a specialized Honda garage. So, but I don't know why you're thinking of a Honda, probably because it's very affordable to buy on the market. That should tell you. Kanzu is an Arabic word. Really? Good morning, Chris Fitness. Thanks, James. What are my alternatives considering I do some field work in the villages on bad roads? So I need an SUV, but with some fairly manageable fuel consumption. 7 kilometers per liter is too high. Marvin, if you have a budget, you can buy a Harrier 2014, which is a 2-liter. That I think that will give you, it's VVTi and 2 liters. So I think it will give you fairly good consumption. Post in nature chenda bachiwali badojira. You could decide to buy a newer. Whatever new is a 2010. You could get a 4-wheel drive. They are not so common. 4-wheel drive cars are not so common, but you could get a 4-wheel drive at about 38 now. But they are about 38 and above. That's what the last time I talked to someone. So you could get a newer that is a 4-wheel drive I think that would work for you. Again, a remove valvetic, so it will be consuming the same as a Wish. Sometimes it will give you 12 kilometers per liter. It would even go as high as 20. So that's what I would recommend. On the highway, it would go as high as 20, which together. So that's good morning, Sanjay Phone Solutions. How are you, my brother? Hey, Ragnar, wake up. You awake? So, question Friday, guys. Hamza, you're considering now buying the Chigege. The Chigege, so far, it's not bad. I'm going to keep monitoring it for, let's see. I want to monitor it up to like 6 months. This gentleman wanted to buy another Chigege to add on that. But I told him he should wait, he should drive. I told him that he should drive that, he should have the car on the road for like 6 months before he decides to buy another one, because there are chances that you want to buy a second Chigege nainga, the other Chigege might start giving you trouble, and when that Chigege starts giving you trouble nga atoguze yokubiri ojagenda okwesanga nga ofuna bufunyi bizibu byerere. So you first leave the one Chigege gyoguze in the market, yeah, nesooke kukolera sente ezikola amakulu n'okakasa nti kakati now the business is intact. That's why even the guys that are buying cars for Uber, don't buy 2 cars at once. Sooka ogule moroka emu, ogiwe omwana agivuge, then bwamala okugivuga for some time n'okakasa nti kakati the business works, awo n'olyoka ogule moroka ey'okubiri. I find that every time you start a business and you have a lot of capital and you put all your capital there at once, I find that you may end up losing. Why am I saying you may end up losing? It's because obotaddemu sente nyingi, so you expect a lot. Naye nga ate bootereddemu sente bayinza okuba tebagenda zikuwa, okitegeera. So start small. Kyovula nti abantu abatandika ne capital omutono ate bo bakola sente nyingi okusinga abakola capital. Okujja nga business obadde ogirimu ebbanga ddene. Good morning Omeja Moses, Ntende Abdul Nasa, good morning. So always start small, mpola, regardless of the business you're doing. Koberenga okola midala gya chapati, tokwata sente okola midala gya chapati 10 omulundi gumu, kwata sente soko okuteka omudala gwa chapati gumu, ogwo mudala gwa chapati ogumbe gukolera sente. Kolo gwokubiri gukola sente, kata osobola odabulinga n'okola emirala ebiri n'oweza emirala ena, ekyo bwe gikolera sente n'okolayo emirala ebiri. But when you get sente gwe n'oteka, era ne bola all those guys that have so many of those duplicated businesses, ujja musanga yasooka n'akola ogumu ne gumukolera, na opening ogwokubiri n'ayiga okumanaginga ebiri, bw'ayiga okumanaginga ebiri n'aleeta emirala ebiri n'amanaginga ena, bw'aweza egenda n'ayiga nti ena bagikola bati n'alyoka aleeta emirala ena until they make like 10. Kati ate gwe bw'anaaba akugamba ajja kugamba aleeta sente tukole emidala 10 omulundi gumu. Kati emidala 10 omulundi gumu is overwhelming. It means you have to manage 10 places at the same time, which is high. You see something with these businesses, nti osooka no managing a drive home n'okakasa nti kati nze muyize ba driver psychology wabwe akola bwati ne bwati bw'amala n'olyoka ofuna okubi. The other thing that I've realized is that you see even the guys that are in the taxi business, abasajja bemulaba bagenda bagidduka. It's possible that the drivers are making it very hard for them to kind of manage their businesses. Ne bagenda bagidduka. It's something that I don't know why. Because someone was saying Tamale Mirundi in a taxi nyingi nazidduka. Of course for him it might be, the issues might be political. Kachi nalaba naita chaina moroka nyingi ngazi yaina edda, ani omulale yaina nga Chigege nyingi yenga na yaji. There are so many. You remember the taxi, you guys remember the taxis that that had words, zalinga abantu bangi bali balina taxis. Neka ate bakendera
kitegeeza abantu abasinga bagenda business eyo bagivaamu. That's probably something for us to study. Nebuli business abantu bangi bagenze bagivaamu yakatemba bagenze bagivaamu naye nze siina gyendaga okitegeera. So many people have been leaving those businesses. Ne mu TV ne radio bangi bavudde mu business eyo naye ate abalala bayingira ate waliwo abasookawo abasigalawo nga tebavaawo. So I think it's where your luck is. Good morning, Council Patrick Asiku. How is CX 2015 fuel cost? I have no idea. Sagara kulimba. TX 2015 sija kulimba. I also have a belief that by the time you want to buy a TX 2015, you really should not be worrying about fuel. Fuel should be the least of your troubles. Omuntu atuuka ogula emmoroka y'ebbeeyi bwetyo okujja nga ssente obyenzibe naye nga ssente bw'oba okoze enkola ezigenda ogula emmoroka eyo, you should the fuel should be the least of your worries. Okitegeera, your worries should be that you have actually bought a very expensive car and you should be making sure you're going to maintain that status. When I went to UMI the first time, nali nkola postgraduate, and I was talking to this dude who was a manager in one of the big banks. He was a big manager, and he was telling me that one of his biggest fears was the fear of losing everything he had worked for. It was the fear of going back to poverty. Of course, he had never really being poor, going into poverty, and that was his biggest fear. And we told him class in the area singa bonna ba okubeera obulungi. Of course, there were ministers kids, we tried so many abo mulimu abaana member of parliament, so babagezaako bapangira abanyiga balimu. But I mean the people that were working for their money, they could sente zaabwe. That dude was ate era naye when we went on to discuss ng'atya n'okwogera his background, because naye okufuna the way through era naye muzeeyi yagikola. And you know there is a group of people that now fear to say how they went to where they are, because first of all they fear judgment, but of course because some of them did not go there fairly. N'abagendayo fairly batandika okutya okwogera nti nze muzeeyi yannyambako okutuuka wano kati batya okitegeera, batya because they are going to be judged like the people not actually putting the work. But anyway, nga yefiye ye esinga okubaawo yefiye y'okudda emabega nga tayagala kudda mabega atiira ddala. And I think we all have that fear. Nange saagala kudda mabega. Everybody doesn't. I think this is the one thing that keeps us awake at night. Like okubamu akafaananyi ng'ozzeeyo mu mbeera embi gye walimu n'otya. Like it's my biggest fear. But if you don't want to go back there, then you risk. Me, I take a lot of risks, I think. Of course, calculated risks. But yeah, we all have that fear. Nayenga omuntu agenda ogula TX 2015, I don't really think that you should be worried about fuel. No, you shouldn't. Council, good morning. Arthur, morning again. You're talking about cars. I would like you to talk about spare parts business. Also, I am currently in Dubai. How is that, Arthur? Spare parts business is just like any other business. Don't enter the business unless you know it through and through. Joshua, share your experience. Joshua has a spare parts shop in Chiseka Market. Joshua, share your experience with spare parts. What are the bad things that people should know? What are the good things that people should know? What are the bottlenecks? President Zaita bottlenecks. What are the bottlenecks that a person that wants to enter the spare parts business should know? Yeah, Joshua, Ronald Mucho agada ingira spare parts business, and I thought you are the best person to actually advise him. Bro, hope you are well. For Sientas, UBG above Zilimu Maker, a good one, or a Paso set is still in UB series, Raum or Spacio New Models. Spacio New Model Mujideke, it's overpriced. Maybe the Raum, Naina Yonda Bakatinax, they didn't get a little bit overpriced. I don't know, I've not seen a Paso set being sold in Ankande. Most people that have the Paso set is actually like their cars. Sienta bela nemiyo nga 16-17. I'm thinking of the Moroccan Nuj, because one thing you need to understand is that there are so many Sientas on the road, but also most of them have faulty gearboxes. You don't want to buy a car that has a faulty gearbox, because it means onajibula voting otandikira mugula gearbox. That's why abaine Moroccan namu baziseera, abaine enfu bazitunda layisi. Kana akabolo kanga kayimira mu. kako kayimirira bubi nnyo ebuutu bagikolamu ogiraba nze naganda okukola buutu kyeka bagitomera n'agitwala ne bagigola ne bagiteeka olaba where the word ractis is akagamu ractis olaba waawe wakole eyo buutu teterera ne bwoba oyagala otya akalayini ako mukalaba akalayini ako kekafa okalaba kaafa okuva eno paka eri ate kasita layini eyo efa oba toyinaawo okitegeera. I remember people telling me quick and number plate is abantu. People, no one knows who's the owner of that car. And also one thing you need to understand, that number plates are public. Which take it, number plates are public. That's why it's put on the outside. Even if you abantu bamanyi bibira munda nga chassis number, engine number, but the number plate is public. So boba gotoyagala abantu bagirabe ujikweka. And also I never share people's numbers in bad spirit. Valvatic imeita bwana Arthur, give us the jazz of the Ranex you bought. Iyo jazz lwaki gibawadde ncha nga maze oku uploading ebifaananyi kuba n'ebifaananyi sinabye uploading. Benedicto Bugabe, good morning. 2.4 liter Kluger you just have to okay n'ebintu twabisomye wamma badde nzizeyo bizimabeka. Abdul Nasa agamba, true, it's good to start small. Right now I'm also going to buy another Bajaj. Right now I'm also going to buy another Bajaj because I understood the game. Eri ejeyo sente zayo, now I'm buying a new one soon and make it bigger. Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. Everyone that wants to enter, it doesn't matter what business it is. Jiyingire mpola mpola toyingira lumu toyingira yo lumu. Bro, I buy accident cars but now watch money osoka vimbamu before you sell. That's why I ask for fuel. Oh James, ogulaza accident ya liter meka engine yayo capacity liter because it's the engine they are fairly the same 2.4 liter engines zona zikuwa 678 then 1.5 liters and below zona tezisuka ekinene nnyo kikigenda ndoza zinzo genda 18 ekinene ne wano mu city center zikuwa 12-13 kale 1 liter boboji vuze bulungi nga tovuze essence ogenda nga 15 1 liter but 1.3 and 1.5 literally the same kati kisinzira capacity yayo. James bobost otema accident cars kati nakuno oyinawo mmoroka ki tulina spare gwe tunonyo oyinawo mmoroka ki. One of my followers had an accident recently yali ayagala spare. Query Hakim, good morning man. I'm interested in that Chigege business. Yes, no man. So far Chigege gye twagula n'omuntu wange ekola bulungi tennafa driver tanneekwasa kintu kyonna tennagendako na mu garage. I think it's supposed to be going to the garage over this week for service. Genda bayiwe oil. So the driver has not complained about anything. He has been paying diligently since we bought that Chigege. Morning Arthur Bananga. I have 12 million. I'm interested in the Spacio Old Model Super. Can I get one? These Bond guys are crazy expensive. And I got silver. Viola, 12 million, I think you can get, but I don't want to say you're going to get I don't want to say you're going to get a super. I don't want to tell you you're going to get a super, because those cars, they are the same. Matarage gauka. Says Imo is a boroka. Pose no kubanti supuja sange inevi vada za kubampa. They are literally the same cars. And I told you guys, once you have a small budget, being picky should be the last thing you do. Don't be picky. I've told you this. Whenever you're picky with a small budget, bajja kutomeza. I mean, Pepera. Yes, thank you for reminding. Muchwa, this is your question. Do you have any idea of auto mechanics? Ronald Muchwa gwayagala utandika spare parts shop. Oh. mean, the guys that wanted to get my music, I uploaded a link. It's a WeTransfer link. It's expiring, I think, in a couple of hours. You can still go and download until it expires. Sigenda kudamu kujisharinga. So if you really want that music, then this is your time to go and download it. Inaina kwali. Arthur, what is the fair price range for a VITS 1.3 liter from the bond? They are not common, so I don't want to tell you. Because the VITS 1.3 liter is not common, sigenda nakuga price yayo buli omaji tunda bwe because tezirabika. Mujukira nagula VITS 1.3 liter VITS ya 1.3 liter mu bond najigula Friday ku Saturday ne bajingulako twaginonya nebula. That's how I bought a Ractis, because the 1.3 liter VITS was not there. In all the bonds in Nakawa it wasn't. Yali accident. Kuba nawo bazilete accident okuveri. And I refused to buy it. Sijja kula kintu kya accident nga ndaba. So I don't know what the fair price is, because you could go right now osoro gende Nakawa 1.3 liter VITS nga teri nga muri mu 10 zokka. So kitegezo omuntu bwanagireta bwaba mugezi aswano jitu ne $2.6 okitegeera. Arthur, what if somebody can buy a vehicle which only needs to replace engine? What is your take? It should be your math, Joseph. It should be your math. It should be your math. Because sometimes ogenda kubala nti wogule motoka nga ogenda kwetaaga oku replacing an engine. It's literally the same with you buying a car that already has a good engine. It's your math. Because I can buy a car that has a good engine, then the engine dies when I'm driving it. But if I buy a car that has a bad engine and I buy the engine myself, then I'm safe. So it's totally your math. Echo sinza kuchikusalirawo. Oyina okubala engine ya meka, then emotoka bajenguza meka, and the engine doesn't just togona gula engine yokka. Right now I recommend that if you're buying a new engine, you buy a full engine. Togula kawanga. Gula engine nebyayo benabinanga bebijirako bwekiba kisoka n'ekiwaya okifunireko. So that car doesn't look, ate senga kibadde kisobokanga ne computer osobola okugifuna. It will totally make a lot of sense. It's Question Friday, my people. You can ask your questions. Byesi sobola kuddamu ababiddamu webali. how many kilometers a liter takes me in the practice. Now, because I drive AC full time, it takes me, depending on where I drive, how much jam, it takes me between 12 to 15. So if there is a person that doesn't drive AC, it is you, ya forward. Oh, omuka mugulabi yorukumi, and they are the majority, by the way, on the market. Na yono na yaji vuze bubye mmoroka. Inza no batefuwanga service yaweddeko bugwita nawa kukyusa oil. Some people bavuga buvuzi. Atala bikanga, it's a lady service yaweddeko tanagikola bukozi. Because UBK is not a very old car. They just tough for you. So my practice, mvuga AC ne kakati mulimu AC. Itambula between 12 to 15 kilometers per liter. But I'm sure if someone doesn't drive AC, it would give them between 13 to 17. Yeah, between 13 without AC. AC AC. Yeah. So that's the mileage I get. So I'm thinking if I were driving like Ikawunda and I was doing AC, I'd probably be getting 3 kilometers per liter, which is too much. Kadate ne wobo vuga yo vits lukumi nga ovuga AC ejja kuwanga 12 era to 15 era because oboji loadings ebera mu AC sawa bina, because nayo nagivuga ko lukumi satu je savuga banga dene lukumi satu nagivuga only 2 trips. I drove it to go to my home, nenjivuga okudda mu kibuga netugivuga nkolo nga tunonye moroka ne bagigula. So I did not really drive it that much, but I know the 1 liter at least. But nearly banga inajivuga, I saw the consumption of 1.3 liter vits yemune yaractis without a doubt. So if it's 1 liter in the bond, the last time I asked the area 22. That's the last time I asked. So I don't know what the current price is right now. The 1 liter, the 1.3 liter, erinyira ddala yinza okubeyongeramu million endala nga 2 billion. Arthur, buwadde mu inspection ya Ranext walabye ku Spacio old model tetuyinza kuddayo kuchima at like 5. Yeah, football tribe. Spacio ngojjayo ya million omukaaga. Whoa. Naye waliwo Spacio ya Imam. Yeah. Ajagala million 8. You can go check it out. Spacio ya Imam, who is one of my followers, yali akagigula nafuna scholarship ogenda Mecca. Medina Mecca. Baba soma Buruarabu wa Sheikh, something like that. So where it's UA what? I don't remember the number plate, but it's there. Yeah, jagala million 8. Yeah. How much? Okay, Arthur Paso Sete and Sienta, which is good family use. Zona za chibi nawe tezire buli obuto bwema begata wina chebukola. And by family I think you mean a big car. Buy a new or a Wish. Those would definitely be much better cars.
looking for someone who wants a driver, a big up. Okay. Matembe Abdul Nasa Kaunde kumalao. Zeze muroke nete zicyankuba njagala akamuroka ako ka vitizi. Kati olaba vitizi eyo giraba. Erimu ekigo sadida. Kati olaba wano. Actually si ya kigo. Erimu ekigo. Kati olaba yensonda yawe awe wali ttaala ly'emabega. Yensonda yonna nkube. But of course it's a UAX. So ebe tambuddemu ebbanga eriwera. Naye nga naye alayika atavuga bulungi nnyo. Oba si ekyo nga yakagula bwe katyo. Naye baaba. Kaliko ebyokukola biyitire. Kati eno lactise ogiraba erina shock enfu. Erinako shock enfu. Shock enfu erabika ya etekwa kwa side ya passenger either maaso oba mabega naye erabika ng'eyemabega. Okay, mugende ng'ekitaati kinnatu ne bana abasajja abavuga emmoloka z'ebitongole bavuga ebyekigwagwa kati mweno leeni abadde akolayo ki mubalabye abantu baffe leeni ekkirira abadde akolayo ki lwaki teyakyukiddewo. Anyway, question Friday people. Fielder hybrid is going for how much? I 10 million yana fielder hybrid oba na mutano. But is it worth it though? We know kwebuuza. Is it worth it? Arthur, on a fielder and Rumion, which one would you recommend? Fielder najivugamu nevuga ne mu Rumion. I'm inclined to say the Rumion. Apart from the hype that the fielder has, I happen to think that the Rumion gives you much more comfort. It has much more headroom. It's bigger on the inside. So for me any day I would take the Rumion over the fielder. Now the fielder is not a bad car. They are both good cars, but I'll take the Rumion. Now majority of the Rumions though are 1.8 liters. Yes, there are so many fielders that are 1.5. So if you want 1.5 liters, so you should be looking for a fielder. However, if you don't mind the engine capacity, the fielder will definitely do for. I'll take the if you don't mind fuel consumption, buy the Rumion. Chances are you're going to get a 1.8 liter engine. 1.5 liters Rumion engine is on ezising and what kali zonna zenalaba konzo lwasemba zonna zalindwadde. Naye nga ate fielder 1.5 liter ewangala. It might have to do with the fact that the Rumion gives people a bigger boot space, and because it gives people a bigger boot space, so they overload the car and kill the engine in the process. But the fielder people don't. Ate abantu abasinga abavuga fielder, moroka kye yekuba omuko ogwengu oba pitch. Irabika pitch nima. The car fire is it was like it was cooking. Now why would you cook? I drove my Duet for 2 years, but the day I tested the Kaundo of my brother, now Kampala to the Antold, I realized that I didn't have a car before. Duet now, way. Duet is not a full car. Duet is the way they are making cars, they are making cars too comfortable. Too comfortable. Even the small cars, by the way, the small cars are very comfortable. Nengera golf nabagamba ki golf yebadde efumba yiyo ate ngeri ku UBP nabagamba muve ku golf kasitana mwe mugirabiddeko tubadde tunoonya afumba wa golf yabadde afumba aka golf polo. Whoa. Arthur, Isuzu Elf 4-wheeler. Is it 4-wheeler? What do you mean 4-wheeler? EMP the name Avega. Tell you. I have to really look at those cars in Zetiginize. How much is the new Toyota Noah and its mileage? Forget about mileage, Ronald. Forget about mileage. Gomanya temoro kazo nazo nezijja mu gwanga izituka bondi bazikwatamu. That's one thing you need to understand. Zonna bazikwatamu. Bwosa emoro kange ina mileage entono nnyo nkwatemu. Kati the thing you need to understand is that the new wajibaire million nga 3.8 nze bwendaba oba 3 nga 7 awe wato with only 4 wheels nizo lole zisinga emabega gibaire empire na mass ebiri. How much is the Toyota Alex going? No motoka obonze bwanta nsimanya lwaki mumwagala babuseera sanga UAZ mu million 18 nga kwezo sente ongerako million nga 3 n'ogula VTs empya mu bond. Saddam zemorokeza abantu bayite banazitegeera ezo era ne kakati bosanga omuntu atanagitegeera, but the newer models are much better. They are much better, but also bamakanika bategeera moroka bamakanika bagezaako okulongoosa okitegeera. Good morning abaho Christopher Herbert, good morning. Lucky Moze ngenda kubuulizaako I need netaaga okwetegereza nade njogera ku bantu abavuga nga bascrollinga TikTok nga bwaraba video naseka n'okuseka nga bwavuga. That's why we have those funny accidents where people knock the cars in front of them ne betomera emmotoka nga 10 simply because of that. Tawuganira kono okasoma
bwana tukwatanise enyaukanya mu buzarwa n'enyikiriza zaitu nikekitfora bembaganiza tumbeke hangere tuhamu
temwera bine kyatugenda bakafe sawa 2
tuyombagana tulwanagana tusinjagana naye tukwatire wamu ate agali awamu gengano so we can do it. We can do it.
Yes, we can do it together as one. We can do it together as one.
Muna, kama taka jitembeli. Jitembeli.
Bana, kuchikona.
Tulimukatale.
Where the highs and lows may be there,
yes
the fights may be there, but when we get together as one, we can do it, we can do it. Tuchisabala, tuchibata.
Herbert Markex ekuba Forester naawe any day nze nkubuulira giba just bavuzi sibe balungi wishoboza tebajja jiguza million nga 3.5. Do you recommend someone to buying an old model Wish as their first car for up-country travels as well? Yeah, the Wish has no problem if that's the money you have, but the new model would be better. I had love for a Primo old model. Now I was told thieves love them so much. Primo's on na city just old model. Zonna
Tuchikusa.
and drive leero bona oba onnyuse and be responsible. Abaana bo n'abazzukulu bakulabeko. Don't go into fights. Omuntu agamba nva mu maaso muve mu maaso. Tebakulamira waawo. I do pre-purchase inspection, guys. If you're going to buy a car and you want to get a good deal and a good car, and if you have verification, you're not to be called. Your job is to simply say, I like that car, I don't like that car. The car you don't like, you don't buy. The car you like, you buy. I come with a mechanic, and that command a call to kakavaringa obudde bwange obudde bwa makanika n'amafuta agatutamuza okulaba emmoloka. Mark you that we only check cars within the central business district. If we move outside Kampala, oba ogenda kugula amafuta agago, because kana kasente katono when we think about of course the value of the service you get. It's a small, very small price to pay. Then I sell tracking devices. A tracker at 350 etandikirwako. Then I also have one for 450, and I also have a car alarm at 210,000 shillings. Yeah, emmoloka yo asset yo n'ebigiriko byonna byonna biri kitegeeza by'obigattagatta bibigifula asset. So you protect the car and protect the parts by putting a tracker and alarms in it. I'm going to read the last comments when I get to a safe place. I tell them to bring a broadcast to Jimalirao.
Give me some love, be my better half. I promise I will never let you down, my girl. Jewelry, dollar bills, many things don't mean nothing. For as long as you got my heart,
Question Friday. So you ask the last question you have to ask to beat Demunga and Basira. I'm going to Basira in the next like 5 minutes. I think in name they could be a Wasaganya. Abavuga emmoloka automatic ne CVT, what you should do, buli bwoba nga ovuga emmoloka nga you're going forward and you want to go behind, always first hit the brakes, make sure the car has completely stopped, then olyoka engaging a reverse. Reverse gear is not a brake. Ebyo emu ku bintu ebita gearboxes zammwe, by the way. Of course olwo gearbox ejje ekooye, but ekimu ku nsonga lwaki gearboxes kataba reverse, uti ulinya brake unodda maaso, because I want njagala ziwamuko. You stop, then you engage the reverse gear. Na ye buli wono yagala gokozesa reverse gear as a brake, okitegeera ojja kuba oyonoona mmoloka yiyo, okitegeera, and which I'm sure you don't want to do. So kamba sibule kansome comments zammwe ezisembayo, then nsome amanya mbasibule. Okay. Yeah, the signal, when my network is bad, it gives you a bad picture. When it's good, it gives you a good picture. Okitegeera. Rumian 1.5 liter. It's the same price. Tezichuka nyo price. Kasteba munu nabaga emoroka enkadde zino muziraba. They don't have prices. It depends on the condition and who is selling and why they are selling. If someone has atunda papa ayinza kuguza rice. Baba atunda something like that. How much can someone get a Wish old model in good condition? UB series 18, 19. Would you recommend it for someone as their first car? Yes, no problem. The Wish is a good car. Can 15 million get me a sound Vitz just like the one you used to drive? Yes, it's possible as long as you're not picky. Until you know 15 million, I told you very picky about the number plates. Don't be picky. Good morning, Arthur. Mark X 2009 UB series, how much? Mimi nga 15 16 15 16. Amina Brian Wide, welcome back. Arthur, how much is Suzuki D-Max double cabin nowadays? It's car thought competition in Hilux. Double cabin zona ziri mu bei yemu. Enkadde 25 nezino nakazeyongera depending on who is selling. How does Pia Motor assembly vehicles in Uganda? I don't know about that council. What's your say about buying a Harrier first generation as a first car? Living at it's a good car. Have a good day, Abdul Nasser. Subaru Impreza has no problem. Buy Mark II rear wheel drive versus all wheel drive. Which one should I go for? Rear wheel drive. All wheel drive. Okuja konga you're buying like a 2010 model and above. But if you're buying the as below, it will consume a lot of fuel. All-wheel drive in the newer models doesn't really consume fuel. Na all-wheel drive moroka ziri enkadde yali ngenywa nyamba futa. So kamba si you guys that are watching this broadcast later on in the day, later on in the week, I don't know, was I muted? Good morning, Katera Sheldon. Nze late na ye better late. True, better late than never. Kale kamba sibule bantu bange mwe bali kubera ko broadcast. Derek Lule, Kungu Pius, Joseph Bari Kudembe, Ronald Muchwa, Mugalasi Joshua Mixed Farm, Muyombia Mark, Norman Karuhanga, Paul Banaria, Tusime Eddie, Serunjoji William, Hamim Pepera, Sebugwa Omedi, Bridget Kakai, Paul Sema, Bukenya Shafik, Travel Life Vlog, Martha Director, Martha Academy, Namamu Kono, E1, Brian Wanyama, Tademwa Samuel, Alan Molindwa, Juko Nicholas, Antonio Random Things, Posse Bravo, Agava Francis M, Abdul Rahim Kasita, Sentongo Hamza, thank you for sharing. Chamba de Hannington, Wabuyi Nelson, Football Tribe, Hashi, Moses Heath, Cliff Films, Eddie Tunes, Matembe Abdur Nasser, Vinny Katz, Nabimanya Kevin, Reynolds Jordan, Lucky Mose, Ronald M. Kasendwa, Marvin Luyombia, James Bakunzi, Hajara, Mr. Sengendo Abdul, Benedicto Bugabe, Chisembo Jojo, Anselm Isaac, Elijah Brandon, Chris Fitness Luburwa, Nsanji Phone Solutions, Omeja Moses, Ntende Abdur Nasa, Alcam Timo, Kwiri Hakim, Viola Namiro, Hamim Pepera. But I thank you guys for being part of the broadcast. I don't take it for granted. Namakula Christine, Chris Da Vinci, Football Tribe, Conrad Official, Kabali Moses, Tumusime Bonex, Seguya Ronald, Banemrosa Sivamazeyo. Alcam Timo, you WhatsApp me. Council Patrick Asiku, Moses Adams, Duco Nicholas, Calvin Revival. Muroza sibamazeyo bantu bange. Thank you very much. Of course, Hajara, Seru Victor, Derek Fisher, Katera Sheldon. Yes, guys, I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's broadcast will be at 5:15 p.m. May God bless you. Ciao.